You better turn up. You better be there when I shake.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen, or welcome if you're new. My name is Bethany, or Budget Bethany, and I like to post these What's for Dinners every single week in hopes to give y'all some meal ideas or some inspiration to cook at home for your family as well.
I live it. That's my tune. I love it. Crank it up. Yeah.
Alright y'all, so up first we're going to be making some Cat Arbys roast beef and cheese sandwiches. So all you'll need is some sweet Hawaiian onion hamburger buns, some roast beef of course, some squeezed Velveeta cheese, and au jus gravy, but I wound up not using mine, but of course you can if you want to. And then right here are the ingredients that we're going to use to make some Cat Arbys sauce. You'll need some ketchup, some brown sugar, some Worcestershire sauce, some garlic powder, and some onion powder, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. But first we're going to kind of heat up our roast beef. You don't have to cook it, just kind of heat it up. So I've got my skillet on low to medium heat, and I'm just quickly placing those in there for maybe 1 to 2 minutes and then just dumping them out.
You better grab that tambourine. Bring a bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my tune.
Okay y'all, so to make the Cat Arbys sauce, you will need 1 tablespoon of water, you'll need 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, you'll need 1 cup of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of Tabasco hot sauce, but I didn't have any Tabasco hot sauce, so I just added some good old Texas Pete. You'll need 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, as well as 1/4 teaspoon of garlic and onion powder, and it also calls for salt and pepper, but I did not add salt and pepper to mine just because I felt like the Worcestershire sauce was going to add plenty of salt. Always, the recipe will be linked down below in my description box. You just go down there and click the link, and it'll take you to the recipe link, and it'll give you exact measurements and full description of how to make the sauce if you're interested in trying it. Really quickly, I just wanted to share with y'all how I put the sandwich together, and I also fried up some of the Arby's French fries, but I didn't want any for myself. I just let the kids and the husband have those, but I really wanted these roast beef sandwiches, y'all, and it looks so good. And it's not Arby's, but it's the next best thing, and if you like Arby's, you definitely got to try this. I promise you, you're gonna love it. Alright y'all, so it's like 2 o'clock and I'm fixing to put my ribs in the crock pot. We're going to have crock pot ribs tonight, and I don't really know what kind of sides we're going to have until almost dinner time gets here. But to season up my pork chops, I'm going to put on some of this Kugel's Country Fresh Low and Slow barbecue rub, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. These ribs were already cut when I bought them in the grocery store, and I did get them from Piggly Wiggly. I think it was like $10 for this pack of country style ribs. So I'm just going to season them up, throw them in the crock pot, and I'm also going to throw on some barbecue sauce. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be cooking them on high for 4 hours. I just wanted to add a little bit more seasoning to my ribs. I didn't feel like I got enough on them, and I'm crazy for seasoning, so I really love my meat to be seasoned. But if you don't like really seasoned meat, then you don't have to add more seasoning once you season them the first time. Then next, we're just going to dump on some good old Sonny's barbecue sauce and pop the lid on this bad boy. Also, a little quick tip for y'all, I like to add a little bit of water to my barbecue sauce. That just adds some liquid to the crock pot and to keep your meat from getting dry. Alright, so to keep everything going real easy and simple, we just got some canned sides and some instant sides. So I've got a can of the Margaret Home seasoned greens right there, and 2 cans of the Libby's cream corn, 2 packets of the Idahoan like instant mashed potatoes. For the greens, you just simply dump them in the pot. They're already seasoned, they're good to go. You just cook them on low to medium heat until they're, heated up. And then for your corn, you just dump that in there as well. And I like to add about a cube of butter in there for mine, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then for the instant mashed potatoes, I just cook those by the directions on the back of that package, and the sides were done. And then here were the ribs after they had cooked for their full cook time, and I'm just adding a little bit more barbecue sauce to them, and I'm just adding some of the Kraft like honey barbecue sauce to them just because I was all out of Sonny's. Really quickly, I just wanted to share with y'all that I like to add some milk to my instant mashed potatoes just to make those extra creamy. And then here's everything once everything was done all together. I wish I was eating this meal again right now. It was so delicious. It's one of my favorites, and those ribs are always perfection every time cooked in that crock pot. And then here's everything once it was all plated up together. You can never go wrong with a good old southern crock pot meal. So for the next night, we had Crockpot ravioli casserole, and this was part of a cookbook collab that I participated in this past Friday. So if you're interested in seeing this recipe and how I made this recipe, then I'll have that video linked down below for you if you missed it. But it was really good, and it's definitely worth giving a try, and it was something different, and it was something new, because I really get tired of eating the same old things all the time, and I really enjoy trying new foods. I also made a Crockpot dessert on that night, and it was really good too. If you like cinnamon rolls, or if you like any kind of cobblers, you will definitely like that. So go check out that video and find you something that you want to try that's new too. I feel like everybody knows how to make tacos. You just brown up your ground beef, add you some taco seasoning in there, and get all your sides together, whatever you're going to put on your tacos. So I'm not really going to go into detail how you cook tacos because I feel like everybody knows how to make tacos. But I feel like tacos are always my go-to quick, easy, budget-friendly meal because tacos cost little to nothing to make, and they're always a hit. Everybody gets their bellies full. And the new thing that my kids like to do is make theirs with like tortilla chips instead of on the taco shells, the hard or the soft taco shells. They put them on the chips and they enjoy them like that. And I really quickly wanted to share with y'all this little tip right here where you can drain off your grease and not have to make a big old mess. You just put you a aluminum foil around a bowl, and then you place your strainer on top of the aluminum foil, and you drain the grease right into that aluminum foil, and you just wrap it up and throw it away. Easy peasy, and there's no mess to be made. Then here is my tacos all plated up together. I just like to put on some of that ground beef, some cheese, some tomatoes, and some salsa, and then I like to top with some of the sour cream and tahini seasoning. And I always like to eat some good old plain regular Lay's potato chips with some salsa, and then like I said, the kids always like to eat theirs on tortilla chips. In this past week's grocery haul, I told y'all that I was going to be keeping it super simple and easy this week with the what's for dinners and the meals that I was going to be cooking for my family this week, and I did not lie to y'all. So I don't think it gets any easier than frozen banquet meals. You just pop those in the oven and cook them by the directions on the back of the package. And then for the sides, I'm going to make some mashed potatoes, and I just washed, peeled, and I'm going to dice up these potatoes. Then we're going to put them in a pot with some water, get them to boiling till they're soft, drain off the water, mash them up, and make some good old homemade mashed potatoes. To make my mashed potatoes, I just throw in about 2 tablespoons of butter and a half of an 8-ounce block of cream cheese, some salt and pepper, and some milk. It's pretty simple and easy. You just mix everything up and it makes some super creamy mashed potatoes because that's how we like ours. I know some people like theirs kind of chunky, so if you like chunky mashed potatoes, don't make it like this. But if you do like creamy mashed potatoes, then you got to give it a try. Make this meal even easier and more budget friendly if you just make some instant mashed potatoes instead of making homemade mashed potatoes. Either way works. We just prefer homemade mashed potatoes over instant mashed potatoes, especially with the Salisbury steak and the gravy. There's just something about some homemade mashed potatoes, y'all. You just can never go wrong with homemade. Then for another side to go with our Salisbury steak and our mashed potatoes and gravy, I'm just going to throw this can of green beans in the pot, which I did not realize had potatoes in it, but thankfully it did not have very many potatoes in it, so we still ate it and still enjoyed it. The potatoes kind of cooked down once it was through cooking and everything, so it was fine, but I did not notice that it had potatoes in it. I thought it was just a can of green beans. But here's everything once it was plated up together. You can't go wrong with a good old easy quick banquet meal. And then on the next night, keeping it super simple and easy, we're just going to do this frozen package of skillet voila chicken stir fry. So basically, you just dump everything into your skillet, heat it up till it's cooked thoroughly, and you serve it up. That was the easiest dinner I believe I probably ever have cooked, and it was pretty delicious. And I just served mine with one of the great value like egg rolls to keep it kind of like Chinesey or Japanesey. Y'all know, I don't know, but it was really good. If you've never tried the Voila frozen meal pack skillet packages or whatever, you need to go give those a try. They're actually pretty decent and pretty good. But I hope y'all enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. If you did, please don't forget to leave me a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. I hope you got some super easy meals this week or some meal ideas that you might want to try this coming up week. But as always, I love each and every one of y'all, and I appreciate you so very much. And I will catch you all in the very next video. Bye, y'all.